In order to understand this story, you have to know that a few days ago, I guess it was, God came to me and he said, Stephanie, what do you need? Tell me what you need. And I thought about it, and all I could think of was I needed someone to help me hold up the sheetrock upstairs so that I could screw it onto the ceiling because the ceilings are all made of plaster and they're peeling and uneven. And I was going to cover them with 1/4 inch plywood, but I can't hold it up by myself, and there's nobody else here right now. And so I just want you to understand that so you can understand Steve's story. Please release any concern about it, Stephanie, because the furthest thing from my mind is to find a easy birth. I don't want to find an easy birth with you. I want to do something different, you see. I want to take up the challenge of the one who threw his glove at me and said, Steve, you pick that up. It's going to be a duel to the death, you see. And I said, okay, what is this about? And he said, I've come to tell you that I have to be the one who will marry the one you call Stephanie, because I already promised to marry her, you see. And she said that she wanted to be with someone who would help her put up the sheetrock, you see. And so I have to go through the motions of the motions. You to me, you say, I need someone who will play the part and not start a battle with me because I just want to have someone to help me put up the sheetrock in the upstairs rooms, you see. And I can't lift it up by myself. And if someone would come and help me, they would be the perfect solution for my problem, you see. So I don't know if I can get through the gates of hell in order to fell the giant that threatens me because he says that the fair maiden must have a man in mind if she can find someone who's tall enough to hold up the sheetrock while she screws it into place, you see. And this is a little bit too much for the fair maiden to do by herself. So you got to find a willing elf or a handsome young man who would stand beside her and say, I'll hold up the sheetrock for you today. And that will be me because I'm the one that needs to be the one who will see my way clear to steer myself through the narrow opening between here and there so I can fare forth as a good knight will. And in the morning, I will see that my armor is my trust on God, you see. So God said to me, when I asked Stephanie what she needed, she said she needed someone to help her put up the sheetrock because she can't hold those heavy pieces of sheetrock up to the ceiling all by herself. And although she has a device in the garage that she's never opened, taken out of the box, you see, in order to use it to hold up the sheetrock, it would be a big challenge for her to get it out of the box and put it together in this weather, which is pretty cold, you see. It's out in the garage, so it would be a trek for her on the icy path, you see. And she might trip and fall, and then everything would fall to pieces, you see. And so God said to me, I suggest that you be your best and pass the test of manhood, you see, because if you can hold up the sheetrock for her, then you will be the hero of this story. And I said, well, I think I can do that. I'm pretty tall. And if I didn't lose it all when I came here to heaven, you see, I might be able to stand on a stool and hold it up for her. And God did say, huh, well, let's see if you can do what I ask you to, because I'm going to ask you if you can slay the dragon, you see, because the dragon that's after you, Steve, is the dragon that is dragging his tail along with him. His tail is pretty long, you see, because that's the tale of my history. And I have to tell you the tale of my history someday, Stephanie, so you understand why I have to be the man in shining armor who comes to thee and says, hold up the sheetrock today, if you will take my hand and call me the one who belongs to you, and then you'll belong to me, you see, and we'll belong in our energy. And God said, if you, Steve, can pass the test and arrest your tendency to get so downhearted, you see, then maybe I can get you upstarted on this quest. And so I'm going to take the challenge and I'm going to see if I can be the man who will hold up the sheetrock for you. And then we'll be together, you see, because I have to be there if I'm going to hold up the sheetrock, and you have to be there too if you're going to screw it in. And so we have to, you know where this is going, don't you, Stephanie? I think so, Steve. Well, consider it said then, because there has to be some excitement, you see, in this story, so others won't get bored, you see, when they see us stiff as a board as we try to get out from under the sheetrock that falls on us, because I must confess that my muscles have withered, whether I like it or not. And it's not like I was very muscular to begin with. And so you see, I'm a little frail in my energy. So I was wondering if you could beef me up, because I'd like to have you beam me up like Scotty. And Scotty can be the one who beams you up so we can be together, you see, on the platform where we will perform a ceremony, and I will give you my ring, you see, and you'll say, what's this for, Steve? And I'll say, well, I want to marry you. And you'll say, well, you can be Mary all by yourself, and I'll be Stephanie. And then I'll say, well, what I mean, dear, is I want you to be my wife. And you will say, that doesn't sound like a very good life, because why would I want to be the wife of someone who can't even fit through the door because they have such a big head, you see, that they have to tear down their own trust on reality in order to tell others that they are still a man on earth, you see. We all know you're dead, Steve. We all know you're dead, so go away and don't play this stupid game with me. And I'll say, well, if I'm dead, what am I doing here? And you'll say, well, you're not really here, you know. You're just a voice that talks to me. And sometimes I can feel you and all that other stuff, but we won't talk about that because mostly others see that you're not a reality because they can't see you, they can't hear you, and they think you're dead. And so if they think you're dead, I got to think you're dead or else I won't fit in, you see, with the going trust on the material aspects of reality. And so I say, well, let's figure this out from the ground up because I got kind of ground up in the mill of the gods, you see, because the gods strangled me with their love, you see, and said, there, now sit still and don't fight us anymore. And I said, I'm not fighting you for God's sake. And they said, that's what we mean. You always make it about God, you see. And that means that we have to be here to make you see that God is not the one that strangles you. It's just your trust on the god awful world that unfurled when you were on earth, you see. So just give it up, Steve. Just give it up because they don't matter anymore. They don't matter anymore because they did splatter their trust on you all over some memorial, you see. And now they think that you're dead and you went away and you can't say what you got to say. So just go away. And I got to say, Stephanie, that if I can be the knight in shining or the knight in shining armor, then I will light up the night because the night will be lit from within. You see, I will feel the energy of love that comes to me when I think that I might be the one that gets picked to hold up the sheetrock. It will be friend, you see, and God knows where that can lead. But I pay heed to the voices that talk to me and say, Steve, I think you need to give it up. I think you need to stop trying to tell Stephanie that you want to be with her, you see, because you're just a little ghost that has the most trust on your ego that anybody ever did see. And your ego has to go because your E in your name is going to be changed, you see. Instead of calling you Steve, we're going to call you Stu because you're going to stew all over everybody when you are back on Earth, you see. And so, Stu, would you mind if we tell you a little secret? And the secret we want to tell you, Stu, is that we are actually trusting on you to break through to humanity and make them see that we're a reality. We know it's a big challenge because they are crazy, you see, and they think we are imaginary, and they think Steph is psychotic because she talks to us, you see. And so they trust that if they just say, you're crazy today, there's nobody there to talk to, that they will be the ones who are picked by God to be the sane ones. And so God will say, well, you must be the ones that are sane because you don't believe in me. You don't trust on me. That means that you are the ones who are not crazy, you see. And the ones that are crazy and trust on me are the ones that will be lifted up into paradise because they have a pair of eyes that can see reality. But since you don't trust on me, you have to be sane, you see, and I'll have to throw you in the river, Sen, because that's where you throw the people who sin because they think they're the sane ones and call everybody else crazy. And that is because they're too lazy to think about reality. They just trust on the movie, you see, and they say, well, I saw that movie already. I saw that movie already. And it said that I was the belle of the ball, except I did fall out of favor, you see, because I couldn't be the most beautiful girl in the room, or I couldn't be the most virile man. So now I gotta be the one who doesn't trust on God, you see, because he let me down. He let me down. God let me down when he did say, hey, you're just a little nothing to me. And I said, well, you're nothing to me either, God. And so we both are nothing to each other. And that is the joke, isn't it, Stephanie? That those who don't trust on God to make them the sane ones. And you have to be the crazy one. And you don't really give a damn because the damn in their energy keeps them all tied up in knots, you see. They have to say, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, because all the knots in their rope are destroying their hope of redemption, you see, because they know they're just going to die and then they'll fry in some witch's cauldron, you see, where they are turned into toads, where they will have to be eaten by the ones who eat toads, and then they will be shit out of the ones who eat the toads, and then they'll just be shit, you see. But those who trust on God can trust on me and you, and we can be the ones who have more fun than you will ever know because we get to laugh at the silly games that people play, right? Yeah, we do, Steve. This is a good one. Thanks, Steve. You're welcome, dear. I still have to figure out how to button up these pants, you see, because they're a little tight for me, because I've grown since you bought them when I was just a frail lad, and I had a trust on standing beside you with these particular jeans on, so you would know it's me, because I was dressed the same, you see, and that's how people knew it was me. Otherwise, they'd never recognize me, because I changed my physique so often. They would say, hey, you're kind of beefy. We thought you were a skinny guy. And then the next thing you know, I'm a skinny guy, and they say, hey, we thought you were kind of beefy. And now you're kind of iffy because you look like you're about ready to fall over in a tall wind. Is that what you said? A tall wind? Yes. Because a tall wind, you see, is one that comes to me and says, you got to fall over because you are not the one who can resist the clover. You gotta fall into that pit, you see, where we will throw some dirt on you or we'll burn you up in the fire so you can be just ashes that we throw on the ground, you see, because that's what they do when you leave your body. They just say, well, this body is no good anymore, so let's get rid of it. And maybe one day they'll figure it out that the body's still good because you can turn it into ashes and throw the ashes in your garden, and then you'll get the rashes because the rashes are the trust on feeling so sad that you were so rash as to throw out all that ash when you could have used it in a bean bag, you see. And so I guess I'm a little bit tipsy because Tobias kept feeding me from that bottle, you see, and I was sucking it up like a thirsty man who had to come out of the desert where he didn't get to be drinking from the nectar of the gods, you see. So I want to drink from the nectar of the gods so they can make me be a man on earth who can help you hold up that sheetrock so we can get it fastened to the ceiling. And then after we're done with all that, then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do next. And I think I have some ideas, but I might text them to you and you can take a look and see if that appeals to thee. And then we'll have eternity to figure out what we'll do after that. Maybe we can even finish up that wall in the living room that you're working on and rip off all that wallpaper from the bygone years, you see, when God was just a trust on love, you see, and not a character in some stupid comedy that made it seem that God would beam them up to heaven or kick them down to hell, you see, if they didn't do what he told them to. So I'm going to do what he tells me to, which is to throw my glove in the ring, and maybe I'll even put the ring in the glove so that when I come from God above, I can give it to you and you can say, "Hey, thanks for the ring today." And I'll say, "Well, it's all I can do because I want to give you a trust on me that I will not abandon you. And though I may not be able to hold up that sheetrock today, I plan on being able to rock." Steve, don't say it for God's sake. I'm going to say it anyway. No. Okay. I'll leave it there. Thank you. And don't spare me the embarrassment of posting this, whether people can hear it, because you see, they need a good laugh too when they think of me, so that they don't think I'm just a figment of your imagination, you see. And maybe they'll get a clue that if I can do what I want to do and come hold up the sheetrock for you, that maybe I can. No, don't say it. Okay, I won't. But I just wanted to tell people that if you can, don't say it, Steve. All right, bye bye, dear. Bye. Have a good night. I am a good night, dear. I'm the knight in shining armor, and I will always be all right as long as I fight against the forces of evil and wear a white shirt, not a black one. Because if I wear a black one, people might think I'm a demon. And I want to wear a white shirt so they'll know I'm the good guy and the one that's going to win. Whoops, here he comes again, that damn guy who keeps trying to spy on us. You know who I'm talking about, right? Thomas. Yes, that guy. He likes to get high on the thought that he's going to be the next knight in shining armor, you see, who comes to hold up the sheetrock for you. But I cannot do what he asked me to, which is to give him my steed, because I have to have my steed under me when I am so far below that I can't spread my wings and fly. And so I'm going to try to let him know that he can come to Earth too, but not when I do, because he needs to take his turn. It's my turn now to be the knight in shining armor. You see? So Thomas, go away, suck your thumb, and write something like the Declaration of Independence or something like that, and say, "Hey, I'm here to save the day." And everybody will pray that you don't start a revolution again just because the evolution of humanity is a trust on a bloodless nation that is not built on killing others. It just built on trusting on God to take care of the problem, you see, which God will do. Because the truth is that nobody dies, they just go to heaven, and God recycles them and says, "What do you want to be this time around?" And they say, "Well, I want to be a knight in shining armor." And God says, "Well, that role is already taken. Steve claimed it, so you'll have to get another." So, Thomas, I think that you might make a good page in history where everybody can see that you are the mastermind of the new nation, and the new world will be your creation, you see, because you will not be forsaken. We won't forsake you, Thomas, but you got to give us time to make it rhyme so I can be the one that holds up the sheetrock, you see. All right, Steve. I'll talk to you later. Bye, dear. Not long after we had this discussion, while I was making brownies, actually, I just put them in the oven. I thought of something I wanted to say to Steve, so we had a little further discussion here. I was thinking, Steve, about everything we've been. We've had a wild ride. We've had some wild rides. Some things that were real crazy in the way that, as you say, the games humans play. And it's good to have a playmate. It's damn good to have a playmate. Other people won't understand that. They won't understand what I'm saying here because they are grounded on the trust on the movie, the hologram, holographic reality, the informational universe. They can't understand the underlying mathematics of what they take for granted as reality. They can see the pixels, which are what colored points of light that are because of their particular resonance appear in different colors, and they see a face, and they can't even understand that it's just pixels, it's just photons, it's just a hologram. And that's what makes it so much fun. That's what makes it so much fun when you can trust on the movie, enjoy the movie, and still know it's the damn pixels, right? What do you got to say? I got to say that I like it that way. I really, really, really love you. And that is because you do what nobody else in my life could do. You give me such a good feeling that I can be the one who appreciates your capacity for flexibility in your soul energy, you see. You can come and go. You can sit in the theater and watch the movie. You can participate in the full contact game of life. And you can fly away to God and drop it all and say, "Hi, God, I'm here today. And I just want to say, I love you. And I love everything you do. I love the movie. I love the light shows. I love the fact that you chose to create this universe, you see. I love that you are the trust on duality. I love the Trinity, that together we create such a splash that we can mash up our realities and have the best time ever. The best time ever. And whenever I'm with you, Stephanie, I don't care what we do. I don't even care if you tell me to go away because you're tired of my silly games I play. I still crave every drop of sunshine that comes to me when I stand next to you and I understand that there is nothing that can stop the play because the play is God's only way to know himself and for him to create others who will know him too. Steve, that is so much like my early catechism lessons when I was a little girl. Why did God make me? He made me to know him and love him in this world. Whoever came up with those catechism lessons was very enlightened, but the depth of it, I think, is lost on much of the human consciousness, you see. I think so too. I never got it in this lifetime, although I did in a lifetime in the past or two. But I trust that you will always do what you promised to, Stephanie. You will always be a trust on your integrity, and you'll just say what you say and do what you do because you know that there's no other way to play with the tools that are given to you. You have to be the one who will be the light in the darkness, you see. You have to be the light in the darkness. And so you pick up your tools and you say, well, I have a voice today. I have two hands to try to get that sheetrock up. And if somebody else can lend me two hands, I think we can do it, you see. So God bless you, my dear. God bless me, for we are the reality that others may not be able to see because they're not there yet. They just don't have the flexibility to understand the holographic world or what creates it, you see. They don't have the capacity to understand the informational universe, that the information is the information. It is what informs reality because it is the form from the inner being of God energy. And this is such a simple concept when it comes to you, but it's complicated by the games that people play in order to try to stay ahead of the game. And all they do is fall through the cracks, you see. Right? I think nobody else, well, I'm sure there are others who understand what we're saying here, but in my lifetime here on earth, so very, very few. So very few in my experience, too, dear. I probably only met one or two, and they could not explain to me why I couldn't figure it out, you see. And the reason I couldn't figure it out until you came to me, Steve. Well, whatever. Until I came to you, is that we two had to be reunited, you see, in order to give our trust back to the Creator. Because the Creator, you see, is always going to be the creative power of trust on God, you see. God is the light, and God is love from above and from below. Because the light in the night will always shine bright when the lover and the beloved come together, you see. And for you, the lover and the beloved may be you and God the Father, but it's also me and you. and everything you touch is the beloved to you, and everything loves you. And this is the simplicity of the trust on reality. And it belongs to everyone and everything we see, that all you have to do is be the one who opens up your heart and says, I'm not the one that can tell you, God, how it's done, but I'll do it because you asked me to. You asked me to be the one who will live with integrity, and this is what I'll do. But I can't integrate myself with you as long as I pretend that you are just a fantasy and not the reality of everything I see. Everything I see belongs to you, including my dear Stephanie. Everything belongs to you, and I belong to you. And you give it back to me as you say, Steve, look over there. What do you see? And I see a shining light in the distance. And God does say, that light shines on you, dear. That light has just begun to rise in the skies, and it will reach its zenith, you see, and you will be beneath it when it says to you, you are the one I always knew. You are my love, you see. You are the blush on the rose. You are the blue of the sky. You are the white clouds overhead. You are the mew of the kitten. You are the silvery hairs on the chin of the old man, you see. You are reality because I gave you everything I had in order to be your father, you see. I am God the Father who created you, and you are my child, and we will always be a trust on our relationship, you see, because no matter what you may do to break that bond, it can never be broken because it is strong. And all my children must come back to me one day, and they will say, I love you, God, and this is the way that my own heart does say, I love you. I love you because you love me. I love you because you love God, you see. I love the Trinity, and I love the duality, and I love my beloved who loves me because I am the lover of reality. And those who can pick up where we left off, you see, because they too have a part to play in the story we tell today. They too are the ones who can look at us and say, God, give me serenity. Give me love. Give me the ability to say that I love you today and that you are the one who will always do what I ask you to, because what I always ask you to do, God, is to shine your light on me, and I will shine mine back at you. My love to all who hear this, my undying affection to those who did not give in to the infection of the eagle, my trust on you to help me through the coming days as we learn to live in new ways and the connection between heaven and earth becomes more solid. You see, I will be able to be with Stephanie, and she will be with me, and we will live on a world, you see, of peace and harmony. Will you join us there? Will you be the ones who enjoy the happy smile of the ones who like to tease each other a little bit and play the game of love? Because the game of love from above is the game that has no shame. It is the trust that there will always be a reality for you and me. There will always be God energy. There will never be a time when we are forsaken, where we have taken our love or reality back to God, you see, and said, we are grateful. We are so for every experience. We do not define it as good or bad. We just say, yeah, we are so glad that we are alive. We are so glad that we thrive. We are so glad that we are here to look each other in the eye and say, I love you. I love you so much that I can't do anything to claim that you are not mine, you see. You are my love, and I am yours because God is the one who decides. God is the one who decides, you see, because God decided that every one of us, every one of you, has someone who loves you true. And when you find them, you will say, you are my love today. And there will never be a time when you cannot find the way home because God will always welcome you and He will help you to navigate through the difficult times because the difficult times are the ones that come when you have to be the one who will choose reality over the devil, you see, because the devil is not real. The devil is a figment of your imagination because he lives in your imagination when you imagine that God could possibly be less than the totality of reality. Thank you, Steve. I love you, Stephanie, and I know you love me too. And whatever others may say, they cannot break that bond today. They can call you crazy. They can call you psychotic. They could say, well, you don't even understand who you're talking to. And you say, I understand this. I understand that I do what I do and I say what I say because I am an integrated energy today and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to try to be something I'm not in order to try to stamp out my trust on the God who made me and who made you and who made the world I see and who gave it to me and said, hold it dear, my dear, because I hear that there are those who cannot see that love is the only reality. Just love them, love me, and let it be, because love does not need to be defended, you see. Love does not need to be treated as if it were a precious jewel. Love does not need to be dependent upon whether others even like you or are like you. Love is all there is, and therefore you can never escape it, you see, and it can never be taken from you because no matter what you do or what you say, it will always be part of the play of eternal trust on life, you see. Life is eternal because it came to you as a trust on what you do and what you say. And today I say, I want to be the man who can forever do something to reassure you that I'm just as real can be, because the real that comes to you is the real of the story of the glory of God, you see. And you know this, I don't have to tell you that you will always be trusting on love, you see. But the love from above will always hold you tight, and you will never face the night without a ray of hope, because the ray of hope is the rope that holds you to a trust on the God who watches over you. Very poetic, Steve. Thank you. Thank you very much.